Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Toronto, and today's day number 6. I'm going to run out of fingers eventually, and then I'm going to have to start using my toes. Just kidding. Of my 25 days of Christmas reviews. Yesterday, I reviewed a comedy that is very, very dark by the name of Bad Santa. The day before that, I reviewed the brand new film Krampus, which worked as a 25 Days of Movie Christmas contender and a brand new release. If you want to see those reviews, make sure to click that white dot up here. It's a white circle with an eye in it. Click it. A bunch of links are going to drop down on the side of the screen, and you'll be able to see those reviews. Today, I'm going in the much lighthearted area, away from Bad Santa and Krampus, to a movie that is much more happy and cheery, at least for some people. And I'll get to that in a second. But before I get into my movie that I'll be reviewing today, I quickly want to talk about my good friend Eric Moore, who was on the podcast for our review of Jaws on our first year as Chasing Cinema. Recently illustrated a book that I really want to talk about, and that is CLAUS the Frost Men. This is a wonderful book written by Sam Mallory and illustrated by Eric Moore. Our good friend who was also on that podcast, Sherry, also helped in creating this book among a few other names. It is a wonderful story, very original, very different than the common Christmas movies that we our Christmas stories that we've come to read and know. I love this book. It's a great gift for the holidays. I'm purchasing it for numerous members of my family, and it's just wonderful. A great job, Eric. I loved the book. Congratulations to you, Sam, and Sherry as well. Now, you can find this book for only $15 at the Eclips Art and Beauty Salon for all my locals. It is located at 9770 South Maryland Parkway, Suite number 5. And in case you are not local, you could find more information in the description box down below and find an Amazon link where you could order the book as well. Just do me a favor and tell them Chasing Cinema sent you. I'll appreciate it. I mean, Eric Moore is a wonderful artist. He's a great friend. I've known him for nearly my entire life, or at least half my life. And this book is phenomenal. I'm not just saying it because he's my friend. Moving on. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a movie that celebrates the love not for the family as much as it is for the holidays, for Christmas, and for the community. However, the community and families did not love this movie back. That's right, I'm going to be reviewing the film Christmas with the Kranks, which came out in 2004 and stars Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis. The film was directed by Joe Roth and tells the story of a husband and wife who, after their daughter is going into the Peace Corps, decide that for once, maybe they don't need to spend thousands of dollars on Christmas like they do usually each year. They're in a community, in a neighborhood that really gets crazy with Christmas. Everyone has a huge Frosty statue that they put up on their roof. I mean, I believe in the movie he estimates that it's $6,000 every holiday that they spend for the Christmas. And they said, you know what? Maybe we should just get away and go on a cruise and go on this exotic trip. And this movie is just pretty much the entire community surrounding these two people, objecting their trip. Now, I remember seeing this movie when it came out. I'm a big fan of both Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, more Jamie Lee Curtis, but so to me, I was like, I'm all for it. And I remember not really being a fan of it. I remember not really caring for it too much. Dan Aykroyd also has a major role in this movie. After, I believe, whatever holiday it was, or whatever get-together it was, me and my family were talking about movies on Netflix, and I was telling them that I was going to be reviewing 25 days of Christmas movies, and they said, you got to watch Christmas with the Kranks. I said, guys, I wasn't a big fan of that movie. I don't really care to watch it, but as I said before, I wanted to review classic movies that we've all seen 100 times, movies that we might have never seen, as well as movies that I didn't like before. So I said, oh, you know what? Okay, I'll watch it, and I'll give it another try. It wasn't much better. I don't think... This is one of those situations where I don't believe this movie deserves the amount of hate and destruction that it received. I don't usually do this, but I just want to share some quotes about Christmas with the Kranks. I know you're on this channel, or hopefully on this channel, to hear my opinion, which I'll get to in a second, but I thought this was so funny, it was hard for me not to share, so let me bring some of these up for you guys, because some of these critics are absolutely hilarious. Right now, Christmas with the Kranks sits at a 5% critic score, which doesn't surprise me, but a user score of 37%, which is usually a bad thing, because most user scores are quite generous. Keith Phillips of the AV Club says, This isn't a wonderful life. It looks pretty hellish. Richard Roper, a person I'm a big fan of, goes, I'm making my list of the worst movies of the year, and I'm checking it twice, and I hope to find room from this frantically unfunny disaster. And I mean, I could go on and on. I know you can't see that. Just everything. I mean, these critics were very honest. And Roger Ebert also was not a fan of this movie. But as much as I wasn't this is a movie that I'd go to bat for or really defend because it does lack any real interesting plotline, any interesting story. I mean, the characters are not something you could really attach to or really care for. I mean, just because I like Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, it's watching Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm not watching a story of a family. I'm watching these guys in a Christmas movie. It's like watching them in a Christmas play almost. It's a really empty movie, too. I mean, there is this kind of whole back theme about community sticking together, but it just, I mean, these people, okay, so this community that wants to be good and do things are horrible people. I mean, they are just being terrible to these people whose daughter just went into the Peace Corps. They want to get away and save some money, God forbid, and these people just totally ransack this poor couple, and they just treat them horribly. They start disliking them. Granted, these characters don't make some of the best choices in the movie, but overall it just becomes an outrageous type of thing. But I talk to people that really do enjoy this movie, similar to one that I won't be reviewing, so if you're waiting and counting down the days for me to review Four Christmases, I have to tell you it's not going to be in my 25 days. I'm not a fan of that movie as well, but people bring it up to me all the time, especially when I tell them what I'm doing. But yeah, Christmas with the Kranks, not that bad. Not that bad in the sense that it doesn't need to be a 5%. I mean, I could see 30. That sounds reasonable to me. But 5, that's brutal. People were very anti this movie, I guess. And I can't say I'm as anti as I would imagine I am. But at the same time, it's definitely not a movie that I'd really want to defend. Tim Allen is it's just the silly jokes that they go for that don't really need to necessarily be in there. Then there's these kind of odd subplot, or a few odd subplots that are going on that just they go for like these cheap emotions. I mean, the movie is definitely guilty of a lot of things that I don't like, but at the same time, it's a movie that I could totally pop on in the background and just, you know, make Christmas cookies or do whatever, I'm wrapping presents and watch this movie. It's not that bad, or I'm like, oh God, no, you know, it's not that at all. So I mean, it's better than I'll Be Home for Christmas. I will say that much. I would take Christmas with the Kranks over I'll Be Home for Christmas, another movie I reviewed. You could click that white dot right there, and you could hear more about that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be my review of Christmas with the Kranks. I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this review. Make sure to find the comment section below and let me know your opinion of Christmas with the Kranks. Either for this movie or against this movie. I want to hear what you have to say down here in the comment sections below. Right above the comment section, you're going to find a thumbs up button. Click it. Let me know you're enjoying what I'm doing and have enjoyed this video. Also, again, in the description box, you can find all the links to the movie reviews that I've been doing, as well as that white circle, and you can find more information on Mrs. Claus and the Frost Men. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. The greatest way never to miss one of my reviews, and or any video that I do here, including the next 19 days worth of Christmas movies, by hitting that subscribe button, and you'll never miss anything. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. My name is Jacob Toronto, and please continue chasing cinema.